Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. In this session, we will discuss about another utility or you can say the command that we can use in order to compress the data of any particular file. Now, you might be thinking, why do we need data compression? So I can show you I can tell you one example through which you can easily relate that data compressing with this command. Okay. So just assume a scenario where you are supposed to send one larger video or larger photographs, documents over the email. Then sometime we face a issue that uh, whether you are using Gmail or any other email service, you found that it is not allowing us to upload or to attach larger files. So in that case, what we do, we use either zip code in order to zip the file, and then we simply make a zip of the file and we upload it, right? And in that case it will allow us. Why? Because through zip utility, what we do, we compress the data, and that compressed data is allowed on Gmail service for sending it to the other user. So in the same manner, when you are supposed to do data compression through utility for a particular file, then in that case you can utilize this compress utility or compress statement. So in short, you can say that whenever we want to transform our data from larger data to less larger data, means in other words, you can say if you want to reduce the size of your actual data, then in that case you can utilize the utility which is compress, and it will allow you to compress the data and store it in a other format. As we are compressing the data, so for sure it will lose the data, but the change or the data loss is negligible. Clear? Fine. So in this example, like we would need for to explain this thing in a easier way, we would need one file that we will use for data extraction. Okay, so let me show you one thing. Here we will write here work lnk, enter. Then if you do page down, you will see one file is here, which is one directory is here, texture myth. So I'm taking option 5 here. Then we have shermit.sh. Now for this file, what we can do, we can take option 2, and right now you can see it is blank file. This script is blank, right? So we are not going to change anything in the script right now. Instead of that, I'll show you the file which we are going to use for the demo purpose. So here I'm writing work lnk, enter. Then you can see there is one file which is aabb.txt, or maybe other thing we can use log. Yeah, this file we will use. Okay, log abc.txt. Now if you want to compress this log.txt file, so you would need this path which I know, so I can directly type it there. Okay, so let's do a change. Work lnk will go for texture directory or folder. We'll take option 5 here, then shermit.sh option 2, and this is the script which I am going to use it. One thing I want to tell you, that this file is already in executable mode. So if you don't know how to make your script executable, then you can refer one of our previous session where we have discussed how to make shell script executable. Okay, and once your script is executable, then you can easily utilize in order to make the data compressed. Fine, because today we are talking about that script only, right, through which we can make the data. Because if your file is in executable mode, then you can run it for any purpose, not only for this data compression, for any purpose. All right, so let's write the script first. So I'll write here I5 for inserting blank 5 lines. Below to this, here we will write echo compressing data using and compress utility. So far we have just noted on few things here. First one is the multi-line comment, which is showing the presenter name as well as the session, or you can say the topic name. Below to this, we just printed one text, compressing data using compress utility. And afterward, we will use the actual compress utility, which is compress space, and then the utility which is /home/shermit/ and the file name is log.txt. Okay, After that, you can maybe if you want to write another text, you can write like this: echo data compression is completed successfully. Okay, you can simply write data compression is completed successfully. This is just for the test purpose. Okay, but in case if there is any issue in this command, then this will also be printed, because this is hard coded, right? Otherwise you can check with if else command. If command is executable properly, then you can print this message. But this is just for the demo purpose, so I am using hard coded text. So let's press F3 for save, F3 again for exit, and here on the same session I will write QSH to open it, and here we will run the script path, which is /home /shermet /texshermet /shermet.sh and enter. After that, you will see this message: compressing data using compress utility. Data compression is completed successfully. That means we are done with this. Okay, so let's try to print this file cat log.txt. Will it allow us? No. Why? Because this file is changed now. Let me show you how. We'll go work lnk, do page down, log. The file extension is also changed, and now it becomes log.txt.z. If I take option 5, you will see that it is showing us the garbage data, and this is because of the CCS ID. Like, this data is also reduced, that's why we are getting this image. I'll tell you the solution for this in later in the other session, but for now we are just focusing on like how we can use the compress utility, although like it has affected our data, but I'll tell you the solution as well. Okay, now thing is that why this .z is added here. So to explain this in a better way, I have noted down one theoretical note here. I'll just explain you that. The compress utility reduce the size of the file using adaptive Lempel Ziv coding. Which coding is used here? Adaptive Lempel Ziv coding. So these are some interview related things. Okay, so you can learn this thing, or you can make a note of it. Okay, so the compress utility reduces the size of the file using adaptive Lempel Ziv coding. Each file is renamed to the name plus the extension, which is .z. As many of the modification time, access time, file flags, file mode, user ID and group ID as allowed by permission are retained in the new file. So what all information is retained? These all information, which include modification time, access time, file flags, file mode, user ID and group ID as allowed by the permission are retained in the new file. If compression would not reduce the size of a file, the file is ignored. If renaming file would cause files to be overwritten and the standard input device is terminal, the user is prompted on for confirmation. If prompting is not possible or confirmation is not received, the files are not overwritten. Now what is this thing? I'll tell you. We'll go to QSH again, and this time like we know that this file is already compressed, so we will try to compress it again. /home /shermet /texshermet /shermet.sh and enter. You can see this time it is showing this message: do you want to overwrite the file? If you go with option Y, it will show you another message which is like this: no such file. Why? Because this file is not there, right? That's why it is showing that file is not available. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. Just focus on the compress utility, like how to use compress. I'll tell you what other things, like how we can see the data in correct way, because right now it is not coming in the proper manner, right? But I'll tell you in the upcoming session. For now we are just focusing on how to see the data. Now if you want to run this script through CL program, so for that I have already created one program. I'll just quickly show you that. Program purpose is running shell script using CL program. Here we will write DCL, provide variable name, type, storage and length. Then variable CHGVAR, press F4 command, which is variable name, and the path of your script. After that we will use strqsh, provide variable name, and it will execute your script. So let's time to compile it and call it. So after calling, you can see it is showing the same message. Why? Because we are running the same script, right? It is nothing different. We are just running the same script, and that's why we are getting the same output here as well, because the file is already overwrite, and that's why we are getting the message. It log.txt.z is not overwritten because here we are not supposed to provide any input. That's why it directly provide us this output message. So yeah, that's all for this session. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching TechSharma.